All right, so let's try to get this win. Still trying to, after those two losses. This is Alex this time. Hopefully we can get this one to work. I'm gonna put over there. I don't know, but I'm gonna throw someone over there. We're gonna save ball this, and that should be good enough. Probably the first time I've seen anyone use Brave Byleth on defense, aside from, have I ever used her? Well, there was that one time after she got her refined that I actually used her, but this is the first time that I've seen someone other than me use her on defense, and that's pretty cool. Really appreciate that. She's very, very good for what she does. Unfortunately, she doesn't take out, which is something that I found kind of bizarre. She does like no damage to Neathhogger. Even with quadding, she doesn't do like any form of damage to Neathhogger, which was so bizarre to me. But I guess just I gotta deal with it. That's just what it is. It's so weird. Like a unit will have like 90 attack, but then ends up like the damage output is just like 0. It's the math is so crazy. I mean, that's the game that we're playing. But yeah, let's try to get this one right. Already taken so many losses. Not that it matters. I still got ladders left, so it doesn't really matter. Plus 10 Golvik. I really, really like Golvik. I think she's going to get an amazing refine. Currently, I'm merging any copies of her that I get. I just automatically merge them. There was a time where she was being used for, or I was using her for, what's that beast skill called? Occultist Strike Fodder. But now I have it on all of the units I need it on, like Lilina, Sonya, units like that. So I don't really need to do anything aside from just merge her, and I would like to have her at plus 10. I think you can't replace multiple actions. If one unit can take 3 actions, like bad, like it really, I guess it does come down to damage output, but then at the end of the day, you just can't replace 3 actions. It's just that you can't. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, damage output will fall off, but refine, and you know, hopefully we get to that point. But yeah, you just can't replace 3 actions. What do I got to say today? Oh man, I'm thinking.
Is it?
I guess let's talk about the news. I got nothing else to talk about, man.
Close your eyes.
Okay, so right now they're talking about like I can see the captions. It's CNN. I don't know, CNN, and all of them are just like what's the word? They report what they want to. I guess if you own a media company, then you're only going to report the things that you want to report, the things that you consider to be news, as well as, you know, whatever the trending topics are. But lately I'm just finding that, which is so interesting. Like when I was a child, this was never something that I considered. I just thought, hey, it's the news station, so they have to tell us what's going on. They have to give us like factual information. But then, you know, as you grow older, you realize that there's a lot of stuff on the news that just is like inaccuracies or just incomplete reporting or just misleading information. And it's like, but you're like a national news station. Like, how are you allowed to get away with this? But it's weird, I guess. But yeah, they're talking about like stuff happening in the Middle East, and I'm just like, wow, like Call of Duty and like other game titles that, you know, deal with like war and stuff, they have like no ends, or like they're always going to have content or at least something to pull from in terms of story development, because there's so much going on in that area, and it's just like it's never ending. There's always some war or some, like, I'm just looking at it, so I'm like, man, this is straight out of like some type of Mission Impossible movie, because how is this regimes are getting toppled, like literal regimes are getting toppled in 2024 when we're supposed to be like at the peak of human civilization. You could probably say regimes are still getting toppled, and this is not something that you would have envisioned. Like you thought, like when I was like, I don't know, like in like primary school, like when I was like 8 or 6 or whatever. Like you saw like the movie I, Robot, and you're thinking, oh wow, 2024, 2030, that's probably what the future is going to be like. But no, we're still fighting dumb wars for no reason, and it's kind of crazy. Well, I don't want to say no reason. I'm sure there's some reason behind it, but surely we can talk this over, right? Surely by this point, there should be a way for us to just resolve all of these problems, but the world just keeps on turning, and it doesn't seem like there's ever going to be an end to things like this, and it's so bizarre to me that you just can't figure it out. I guess there's a people component to it. You know, it's really hard to let go of that anger, or that desire for revenge, and then there's also the money aspect behind it, where war is business. You make a lot of money selling those bullets, man. I was watching like some, like one of the things that happens when young males play Call of Duty is that a lot of them get like really interested in weapons and guns and stuff, and that's one of the things that happened to me as well. I started like looking at stuff like the MP5 and the MP4, and I was like, whoa, these are like really cool, very dangerous. I'm very like against, like, I'm not like I think the world would be better if we didn't have guns. That type. I'm more of the, we should probably like just like have a fist fight and solve our differences that way. I feel like that's the more honorable things to do. I feel like guns are just like, it's the easy way out in terms of winning an argument. Like, that's not actually, you didn't win the argument, you just brought a bigger weapon. And I don't think that's really fair, but that's just where we are. I think if you really want to have a fair fight, you should just bare knuckle it and punch it out. That's really what we need to be doing to resolve our differences instead of shooting each other. But I don't know, that's just my thinking. But yeah, looking at the design, the craftsmanship, I do like that aspect of it. I can appreciate the development that went into it. A lot of these weapons is just phenomenal that we have been able to achieve it. I was looking at this thing where someone was firing a Desert Eagle, and it's like, for me, that's like the peak. Like it, like memories, man. Modern Warfare. That story was so fantastic. That boat mission, the mission at the end where you got the Desert Eagle. Whew. Yeah, so I was just watching it, and it was like my first time actually hearing what it sounded like in real life when it fires. And man, it's a cannon. It sounds very terrifying for a handheld weapon. Sidearm. Yeah, so I don't know. Random topics I'm discussing. None of this is probably things that anyone cares about, but I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy that we're still in a world that is so dependent on violence to solve its problems. In 2024, it's just not what you expected the world to be. There's still coups going on, genocide. It's so weird. So weird that there's still these things going on when there's literally food being thrown out. Like, one of the things about America that just disgusts me so much is that there's so much food being wasted. Like, and it's just so unimaginable to me, because if only there was a way, like, if we could just like portal, you know, like, I always think about that Patrick meme where he's like, we should take the city from here and move it over there. And that's literally like what I'm thinking. Like, there should be some type of portal or something that we could just give all this food to somewhere that needs it. And that's the inequity of resources. Like, there's just no way that, well, currently, that you can transport it properly, that it's not spoiled or anything like. I mean, even if it was, I'm sure there was Best Buy dates, I'm sure someone would still appreciate it. It's better than literally nothing, or dirt, which is all that some people have. And like, when I came here, it was one of those things that I was just so blown away by, like the amount of waste, just mind-boggling. But I don't know, man. Still, it's pretty decent. It's not the worst place in the world. Something that I always think about is, like, it's so unfortunate that you don't have a choice in where you're born. You do have sometimes a decision in terms of like whether or not you leave, but where you're born, it's just, you know. I don't know if you know, or maybe I'm just thinking about it too deep, but I don't know. Yeah, it's because the person you are, you're shaped by your environment. And if that environment is like not the best place in the world, then, you know,
Yes.
not a lot of chances for you. And here we are. Here we are,
What
privileged,
is it?
playing a game on our smartphones.
Close your
It's
eyes.
crazy. But, I mean, I guess your life is still what you make it, in terms of whether or not you're born in the best or worst circumstances. It's really up to what you decide to do with it, and your decisions are everything in life. Yeah, your decisions determine your destiny. I guess you could call it that, if destiny's even a thing. But yeah. Like, I'm looking at like the next topic here, and it's talking about drones being flown over New Jersey, and I'm just like, that's so sci-fi. Like, literal random drones being flown over your house, being flown, like multiple drones being flown in the sky, and you have no idea what these drones are. And it just makes me think about Stargate SG-1, that was like a old show on what was it? Sci-Fi Network at the time. It was Network, or I don't know, but yeah, which was about like a team of scientists that had like a portal, and they could travel to a different black wormhole universe portal, fight enemies over there, all the way over there, and then all the bad things that came from that. And I'm just like, how far are we, like, away from just being able to, like, portal gun, like Rick and Morty style, to a different dimension? Like, because a lot of the stuff that I'm looking at right now, it just seems like it's so, like,
Coming right up.
it's so advanced, but then at the same time, it's like, it's not foreign, because a lot of this was already being, like, discussed or presented in TV series, like, from way back then. And it just feels like we've just been growing and developing these things, and we're getting to a point where I feel like it's only like a matter of time before we get like a portal to some random dimension that just destroys everything, and we just ruin the whole planet because of it. I don't know, man, but hopefully, you know, the people that are developing these things are like watching these old shows and realizing that, hey, this could potentially go left. You know, it's not all like always a good idea to hit that button and to plug that thing in and to turn it on. You know, it's once you turn on that software, you turn on that AI, sometimes there's just no going back, you know.
Coming right up.
That's just my, like, what I think about, like,
Pay them a visit.
AI and stuff. But I don't know, man, it's kind of scary, but then at the same time, I don't think I'll be alive long enough for it to matter. It took us so long just to get to here. But then there's also the argument that things are just developing at an exponential rate, so it's not like 1 + 1, it's like 2 × 2 now, and things are just getting faster and faster. Maybe it'll happen, maybe not, but I don't think I'll be around to see it. But it's probably going to happen at some point. Not in my lifetime, I hope. I don't want to see the Earth blowing up from the inside out. That doesn't sound like a good time. How did I get to this topic? But I got nothing else to talk about, man. We're pretty much almost done here. I forgot how slow tanking was.
Keep it coming.
Not like mobility wise, but just taking out all of the units. It feels like it's taking forever. I'm actually on turn 5. This is it feels so foreign to me, because I don't do this as often anymore. So, and this was like just a couple years ago. This was all I would do, and it felt like the easiest way to win. But this actually just, it feels kind of annoying to do. It feels like it's taking forever. I want this match to be over, and it's just taking kind of long.
I am ready to work.
I don't know, man. I feel like we've been kind of spoiled in terms of like the options that we've been given, but. And then to go back to this,
Let us depart.
it feels like a regression almost. I'm trying to actually figure out how I can get this wrapped up in this turn, but it doesn't seem possible without being able to take out money here, and I need to dance, I think, to get that done. But also, I don't think I'll be able to do it because Alphonse, I'm kind of concerned. He's been hitting that great talent for a couple turns now, and I don't know if I have anyone that can actually take him out once he's solo. So we're gonna have to see what happens there. Might actually run out of turns. I don't know. No sweep effects, so it's down to, I'm hoping Neathauger can do it. I've never actually seen her fight or, you know, attack into Alphonse, so let's see what that's like, I guess. I'm hoping that she's red and that matters, so yeah.
Let me just...
Let's end here and see where this gets us. I mean, overall, so far, just like midweek, I guess, Neathauger has been pretty fantastic. I mean, I haven't been using her. What I've been noticing is that a lot of people have given her near save instead of far save. I think she performs both roles really well. I think she's tier 1, top 3 saves in the game currently. And then I guess for Mortis, the new Full Mortis is probably going to be somewhere around there as well.
Understood.
But yeah, I don't want to see any more save units. I didn't realize that there was going to be another Christmas banner. I was looking at the schedule and I was like, oh, we're getting another Christmas banner. Or maybe that's New Year's banner, but early. I don't know, but there's another Tempest Trials that's coming soon after the little emblem banner. That is going to be pretty soon. This is, well, it's still like a bit away, but it's not too far away. Let's see here. What's this damage? Okay, Astra.
Coming right up.
Okay,
Understood.
awesome. She's also just a really good. I think she'd work really well with Celica Ring, this Neathauger, just for the added mobility. It's kind of like we typically don't get mythics that are this powerful, and it's interesting to see how she's shaping the meta just by being strong. I don't think she's gonna fall off anytime soon. I think the only thing that would make her better is like armored boots or armor march or assault troop. She doesn't need to be a save. She's actually a really fantastic play phaser. GG's. See you in the next one.